الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك الله.
What is the first initial thought that pops into your minds when you hear the words Khilafah?
The first thing that pops in my mind is the time of the Prophet ﷺ and the four Khilafahs.
Like Khilafah, like different communities have different ideas of, like everyone has their different thought of what's right and what's wrong. Like that's what's dividing them, so it's like a division kind of thing.
When I think Khilafah, actually, I don't actually think a state. It's a state that just doesn't pop in my mind. I just imagine that we have a leader who really truly cares about his people and who follows Allah's laws, and so makes it easy for us to follow Allah's laws as well. You know, I don't necessarily see it as a state, if you know what I mean. It's just, yeah.
We do think about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and the four Khilafah Rashidin, and then when I go into the broader perspective, then I think about like Khilafah is the way of managing a state according to Sharia, which would be compliant with the Quran and Sunnah. So yeah, I think about Khilafah when I hear this word first.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is like having a pure right Islamic State and Islamic ruling, pretty much.
Do you see it as a dream or a reality? Do you think it's something achievable?
Hopefully, yeah, definitely. It should be, inshallah, yeah.
Inshallah, why not? But previously, if you asked me that question, I would have been like, ha 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 ha.
I don't think it's a dream as in it's not possible. I think it's definitely a reality. It's just that our Ummah is very divided today, like extremely divided in such small petty things that just makes it harder for us to have a Khilafah.
I can't say it's a dream, it is a reality, but it requires a lot of effort. Not only individual effort, but since you know nowadays it's the era of globalization and countries are very close to each other, and there is always like infiltration of people from one state to another state. So it can happen, but it requires a lot of effort on the part of the rulers of the Islamic countries.
Well, in today's society, to be honest, I see it as a dream. There's a lot of corruption happening. There's a lot of misunderstanding about Islam, seeing it as a negative light, and a lot is to do with media and stuff. But right now, currently, subhanAllah, it's a dream, not a reality.
See, that's the thing. What is reality? Actually, I don't see why it wouldn't occur. Everyone's saying, oh, okay, it can't happen in today's society, but today's society wasn't always how it was. It had formed from some stage. So obviously, Sharia law, having a Khilafah, everything could occur again. It happened once in the past, it can happen again. Why not?
You would see that the Western world would see it as like the whole new thing that Islam is bringing, like whole new, like I don't know, like a whole new concept that they want to push to, like kind of like take over the world. You know how they have that notion of where like our plan is to take over the world, so they'll see it as like just another tool that we're using to get.
Okay, negative? Well, it wouldn't be anything about the actual Khilafah itself. It would be towards people's perception of it. So it would be like everyone's strategy to get a Khilafah and how we're all disunited on it. The positives then obviously would be the outcome of us being united, having Sharia law, having Muslim Islamic land. It's like that would be the day.
Well, you can't say anything is negative about the Khilafah. I mean, Islam Islam promotes us to have a Khilafah, wants us to have a Khilafah, and so it's all positive.
Islam will be viewed as Islam, not Islam through a secular perspective. So that would be my main positive.
It's gonna take us a long time to establish a Khilafah, I believe. I'm not very knowledgeable at the end of the day, but
positive will, I think, get everyone together, like all the Muslim community, everyone would have the same ideas, because now I come up with like you have like the Shia and the Sunnah and this and that, they're all divided, you know what I mean? Like they don't have the same idea of what's happening. Like everyone shows the world their own different like opinion on what Islam is, like it's interpreted differently. But if Khilafah, isn't Khilafah like everyone is on the same pace kind of on Islam? Yeah, it'll be great because we'll be like showing a better positive image of ourselves.
The negative thing, like the person who is supposed to be a Khalifa or the Amir, is there a person who is having like a full knowledge of the Quran or the Sunnah? Of course, we are talking about Khilafah, so it requires that decisions should be made. He should not be biased, or he should not be prejudiced towards one community or one group, or yeah. So I think he should be unbiased. That's what I think the only thing I'm concerned with.
What do you see as the most fundamental step we need to take in order to re-establish it?
First and foremost, I think the most fundamental step is increasing our knowledge about Islam, knowing more about what is right and about the Khilafah, knowing what we should do to establish it. Yeah.
Okay, that's a really interesting question that needs some thought.
Communication.
Yeah.
So through dawah?
Dawah, oh yeah. Like on regular meetings and stuff like that. I reckon would be great.
So creating awareness.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, obviously it would be a combination of us working together, being united, and it would also be from ourselves. We would need to want it, and we have to work together to get it. So I guess we would have to have the right mindset, and would have to encourage everyone and actually stay on one strategy to get the Khalifa, not everyone having their own ways and being everywhere basically. So I would say unity, working together, and having that self-motivation to wanting it.
I think the very first thing that we need to do is learn our deen and learn how the Prophet ﷺ was, and try and be like him as much as we can in our lives.
Most important thing, I think the rulers of the Islamic State, they should first get rid of their own internal differences.
Do you think this requires collective or individual action?
Both.
I think like if one person comes up with the idea, it's great, but you need to get support to actually succeed in like getting to that idea.
I mean, even if we work as a community, as an ummah together, still you have to work on yourself despite that, you have to try and strive to become a better Muslim, but like to establish a Khilafah, I think both are required. Individual work and group work as well.
It requires, I think, more collective efforts, in my view. Of course, individual efforts also required, but it needs collective efforts on the part of the rulers of the Islamic countries, Muslim states. So I think, yeah, it requires more collective efforts rather than individual efforts.
Definitely collective action, but in order to have a collective action, individual people must come together and have the right knowledge, inshallah.
If you want to look at reality, look at the reality we're living in. So that, I wish that one was a dream. So obviously, to change what we're living in, we need to make the Khilafah a reality.
Inshallah.
I wish we'd have that soon, so that we find a solution for all our miseries. You know, there are a lot of... the only countries which are suffering nowadays in the world, they are only Islamic countries. So if the Khilafah system will be there, I think we can get rid of their thing, like very, very soon, hopefully, inshallah.
I would love a Khilafah. It would be awesome. Yeah.